Yeah, you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners.
Okay.
His name is James.
Oh, my God.
You remember going out with James?
You know what? I don't think this is a good idea for me to talk to you.
Really? Can I just tell you real quick what he said about you? Because I really would like for you guys to go out again because he liked you a lot.
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have said anything about me.
Okay. Well, he told us about your first date, and he told us about the embarrassing incident.
What do you mean?
Well, he said that during the date, he was kind of tickling you and you're messing around, and then you passed gas.
Oh, Lauren.
He told you that?
Yes, he did.
It's okay. Don't be embarrassed.
But it's not a big deal, and that's why we're.
First of all, it's not even about being embarrassed. I cannot believe he would. So, what was the whole point of him calling you and he called you to tell you that so you could just embarrass me on the radio?
No, not at all, Lauren. He called and told us that because when we do this segment, we always talk to people about the date that they went on to figure out if there's anything awkward that happened.
Well, that's really messed up. He shouldn't have told you that because it was private.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. The only reason he told us that, though, was because he thought that's why you weren't calling back because you were embarrassed.
This is so up. He should be embarrassed. He's a complete weirdo. Like, I thought he was a psycho, and obviously he is.
Why do you think he's a psycho?
First of all, it was like weird that he was tickling me, by the way. That's like so weird.
I thought that. Okay, so you sound like you don't like him very much. Before we let you...
I mean, like, I'm sorry. If you would like to know what a weirdo he is, I'm happy to tell you because obviously he has no problem calling a radio station and telling them something personal about me.
I would love to hear what a weirdo he is. And I'm sorry. You shouldn't be embarrassed. We're not trying to embarrass you at all.
No.
It's more just so James can know why you're not calling him back.
Well, so we went out for breakfast. On our date because, like, I wanted to make sure he wasn't a weirdo, and it was actually nice. And then he wanted to know if I wanted to take a drive. It was a really nice day out, and on the drive, it was beautiful. It was like the perfect day, and so we just stopped in parks. Like, we just stopped at various places. But then when we got to one place, and he pulled over, and I was like, "Oh, I thought he was going to try to make out with me." And he told me that he had something he wanted to show me, so. He got out of the car, and I got out of the car, and he walked me back to the trunk of the car.
Oh, my gosh.
That is scary already.
What was going through your mind at that moment?
I was worried that there was going to be, like, a sledgehammer, but I was hoping it would be, like, I don't know, like, maybe he was getting a jacket or something. You know what I mean? I was like, maybe he was getting a jacket.
Right.
So he opened the trunk, and he pulled out an urn. Okay, like a silver urn.
Weird.
And he said, "This is really important to me. Like, this is really special to me. This is my father."
What?
Whoa.
Like, yeah.
That's a little bit heavy for a first date.
Yeah, and I didn't even know what to think. I was just silent. Like, I didn't even ask anything. I didn't want to know anything about it at that point.
Yeah.
And then he just says, because my father really loved birds. And so whenever I drive to someplace beautiful and see bird feeders, I stop because it was his final wish that I sprinkle his ashes into the bird feeders so he can be free with the birds.
Oh wow. That's
a lot.
That's kind of weird. I mean,
so weird.
If that's his father's last wishes, that's one thing. But to do that with you on a first date, like, hey, we're going to share this special experience and feed my dad's father's ashes to some birds, I could see how that would kind of turn you off a little bit, Lauren.
That's at least third date material. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you guys spread ashes together?
Yeah, because I was afraid he was going to kill me. Because I was like, how did his father die? Like, did he kill his dad?
Yeah.
Not natural causes, bro.
Wow. All right. I can see why that turns you off then, Lauren. That's kind of strange.
Yeah. I was just, like, so relieved, honestly, when I got home and I was not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
He's also on the other line right now.
Are you serious?
I am. I'm sorry.
Hi, Lauren.
Oh, my God.
I'm just a little offended that, I decided to open myself up and let you in on something, personal and special to me, and then you judge me by it,
What? First of all, here's the thing. I'm really sorry to hear about your dad, but you need to understand that that's actually nuts, what you did. Like, I didn't even know your dad was dead. Like, if we've been dating for a while, fine, maybe. But not only was it our first date, it was the first time that I met you. Like, so did you know we were going to do that? Like, that's weird.
No, I had no intention, but when we were driving and I saw the birds and I said,
Yes,
this
there's
would
birds
be a great
everywhere.
time
You like pull over every time you see a bird.
Make good to my dad, and at the same time, see what kind of connection I have with this girl that I had a great time at breakfast with, had a great time talking to, had a great time driving with, and I thought, maybe she was kind of real. Maybe she was a little bit deeper than just a puddle, that maybe she might
Are
understand
you
what I was doing.
serious? Because I am weirded out when you pulled out an urn on our first date. I'm shallow.
It's a little bit because you can't understand why I'm doing it.
It is weird that you would take me to the trunk of your car, pull out an urn of your dad's ashes on our first date, and then feed the birds with it.
I mean, I didn't get weird when, you told me about all these traditions you have with your grandma and all these other things.
Yeah, that is f***ing different. I was telling you what we used to make on Thanksgiving. If I told you that she was dead and I baked her ashes into a pie and ate it every Thanksgiving, then it would be the same.
Must I remind you that I overlooked the fact that you completely stunk up my car?
That is so f***ed up. Like, by the way, it's like completely weird also to tickle people on the first date. Like,
Oh, yeah, we forgot about the tickling thing.
Very true.
Well, it sounds like you two just had a wonderful time together, and that would mean that I need to ask Lauren if she would like to go on a second date with James. We'll pay for you to go on a
Absolutely
second
not.
date. No? You answered before I was even done asking the question, Lauren.
No, I'm sorry. I just can't. I understand that this is very personal to him, but I cannot.
All right. James, I'm sorry, man. No second date for you.
Can't blame the guy for trying, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe just wait a little while to bust out your dad's ashes on a date,
I could probably try that out.
Yeah, try that, and then also wait a little while to bust out the tickling on a date.
Yes.
She should not order the burrito.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Susan, please?
this is she.
Hi, Susan. How are you? My name is Pete. I'm calling from the Seattle Seahawks.
Hi, Pete.
We noticed that you left the game in the fourth quarter the other day, and we're wondering if there was a problem with your seat or were you not happy with the performance of the team. We're just calling fans to ask them why they would leave the game early is all. Hey, Susan.
Yeah?
This is actually Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on Moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm okay.
Probably extra confused now.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, though? You did leave a Seahawks game early a little while ago, didn't you?
Yes? How do you know that?
I know that because the guy that you were with, Adam, is a friend of the show, and he's wondering why you would ditch him on your first date.
Well, I mean, when I first met him, he seemed like a really nice guy, but I don't know what was going on, but he was just kind of, like, out of control. He just seemed really crazy.
Like, fan-wise, like he was screaming and yelling too much?
I figured he was on some sort of drugs or something, because it was just, like, we got some nachos, and then he decides just, like, put the whole nacho ball up to his face. What? And it's just, like, getting cheese all over his face and, like, laughing and, like, smiling at me. And then people around us, like, he's already been drawing attention because he's been doing this, like, who can scream louder game. So, like, already everybody around us has been looking at this guy, and now he's, like, putting his face in his nachos.
That's messy.
Like, he's insane.
At halftime, he gets up on his chair and starts playing air guitar. But there's no music playing. And then he's yelling the F word. Everybody's looking at him. I'm worried that the camera is going to, like, show this crazy guy, and I'm standing right next to him. Like, it's humiliating.
Yeah. So at what point did you decide finally just like, hey, I can't take this anymore. I've got to leave.
Right before the fourth quarter, I was like, all right, I'm going to go get something to eat. But then, really, I felt bad. You know, I feel like a jerk. So I went back, and he'd fallen asleep in his seat.
Stop it. Fell asleep?
So,
I sat next to him for a minute, but he was just, like, passed out.
oh my
He's like a toddler, basically, just facing the nachos, jumping up and down, playing air guitar to music that doesn't exist, and then taking a nap right away.
wonder
The guy sitting behind us who'd like been noticing this whole thing, he's like, they're like, well, I guess he wore himself out.
Yeah.
They were so
Susan?
thankful.
So I just was like, this guy like needs an intervention or something. Like I think he has some sort
Maybe-
of drug problem.
Maybe this could be the intervention, Susan, because he's actually on the other line and heard everything that you just said.
Yeah.
What?
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
This is really embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
You're telling me.
Adam, when I asked you earlier if you were drunk, were you lying to us? Were you hammered?
No, I wasn't hammered.
Then what was wrong with you?
I told you guys, like, I was feeling under the weather the whole day, right? And I really wanted to just rally. So, like, I don't know, I took some NyQuil and some stuff like that. And I guess I was just a little loopy. I don't know. That stuff is...
You don't rally on NyQuil, dude.
You don't mix it with other medicines either.
I just really wanted to go to the game. Like, I didn't want to call and cancel. Like, I was really looking forward to taking you to the game. So I guess, did what I had to do to make it, and I felt better. And I guess, combined with those beers, it just, like, I don't know, put me over the edge.
Made you just a psycho?
You felt a lot
Embarrassed
better.
about this. I don't even remember doing that. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't remember falling asleep. Like, I just can't believe that I acted that way. And just, I don't know. I guess just tried too hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
outrageous.
Adam, you don't remember any of this.
I mean, I remember, like, eating the nachos, but not like she detailed it. Like, I thought I just ate them normally. I definitely don't remember eating them with no hands.
In your mind, you have a fork and you're just daintily putting them in your mouth. Meanwhile, your face is in the whole box of nachos.
Yeah, in my mind, I had a napkin and I was eating them like a normal, civilized person. I don't remember doing it otherwise.
Susan, you did say that it seemed like he was on drugs. So maybe he's telling you the truth and he just had a really weird reaction.
I mean, technically she's correct. I was, but it wasn't like freaking NyQuil. Yeah, and a couple of beers. So
I've never seen cold medicine make someone like go crazy like that.
yeah, honestly, this is probably the number one most embarrassing moment of my life right now. I'm not even kidding you.
Man,
Do you believe him, Susan?
I don't know. I mean, it was embarrassing, that's for sure. I
understand why you would feel that way, and I get it. I just, I really liked you, and I really am bummed because I feel like I just ruined it right off the bat.
Hey, Susan, we'd love to send you guys out on a second date. We will pay for it. I'm sure Adam wants to go out again and prove that he's not a raving lunatic. And Susan, would you be interested in going out with Adam again?
I mean, I guess I appreciate that he's trying to make it up to me.
And Adam, you want to go out with Susan again, right?
Yeah, I would love to. I really, really would love to.
Oh, that's cute.
So, is
You
that
guys-
yes?
I mean, I really liked Adam when I first met him, and I love that he's a Seahawks fan. So, yeah, I'll give
Thank
it
you.
another go.
Nice.
Cute. You think you're going to be
Sweet.
so good when you're not on cold medicine.
I hope so.
Adam, congratulations. You got a second date.
Oh, man, I feel so much. I'm completely embarrassed, but I feel a
Right.
lot better.
Awesome.
You're not sick anymore,
you.
right, Adam?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And the next time you are sick, don't get your medication from some guy named Tic Tac in an alley. Go to the drugstore.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Mackenzie?
This is she.
Hey, Mackenzie, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on Moving 92.5.
Okay. I'm sorry. What's going on?
The reason I'm calling you is because you recently went out on a date with a friend of the show. His name is Cam.
Okay.
And Cam emailed us because he'd like to see you again, but he's wondering why you're not answering the phone or responding to any of his text messages.
Okay.
So we figured, why not call her and see if she'll tell us if Cam did something wrong on your date.
I mean, I don't really want to see him again.
Was it because he wouldn't let you have some of his food? He told us about how you wanted to share like a bite of his food that he got, and he said no, and that's where he felt like the date went wrong.
I mean, that was really weird. Like, I've never had anyone, like, deny someone a bite of their food before, but it wasn't.
Did you just not like him?
I mean,
he's just not like a guy I would want to see again.
Did you feel that way from the very beginning of the date, or did something happen throughout it to change your mind?
I mean, he was nice enough for most of it. Yeah.
It's okay, Mackenzie. This is a safe place. You can tell us what happened.
This is so weird. He got a text in the middle of dinner that kind of ended it.
He got a text in the middle of dinner?
Yeah.
Are you saying like he checked his? I mean, that's rude, especially if you're on a first date to check your phone.
No, I mean, I check my phone on dates. It was just, he got a text and he started laughing really hard. And then I asked what he was laughing about. And he showed me his phone, and it was just like a picture of a car with the windshield had, I guess, like Hershey syrup, it looked like, all over it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like someone had like written on it like stupid.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
And I was like, why is that funny? And he said that it was his ex-girlfriend's car.
Oh, psycho.
And then he said that his buddy had gone to the supermarket, saw her car in the parking lot, and then like thought it would be funny, so he like went in and bought stuff and vandalized her car.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, that's
And he
horrible.
showed you that and he was laughing about it?
Yeah, he thought it was like insanely funny.
That is really bad on a couple levels. One, you don't want to talk about your ex on a first date.
gosh.
Secondly, you don't want to be laughing about the fact that one of your buddies just vandalized her car.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to be cool. I thought I was nice and left the date in a good way. I just don't want to see, he's not the type of guy.
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
Hey, Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Real quick, before I let you go, I do want to tell you one thing. Cam is actually on the phone and heard what you just said.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Hey, Mackenzie.
Hey, Cam.
Look, that was my friend Mike. He did it. It wasn't even me.
Yeah, but Cam, it's not so much who did it, it's the fact that you showed it to her and were laughing about it. You can see why she'd be upset about that, right?
It was just like so uncomfortable. Like it made me feel so grossed out. Weird.
Mackenzie, you don't understand how horrible of a person she was. It's taken me months to get over like the things she's done to me. She was just psychologically an assassin.
See?
an assassin.
You hear that, Mackenzie?
Psychological assassin.
She deserved what she got. Does that make it better?
Oh, no.
Who cares if your ex is like a or like what she did to you? Like you still showed me a picture of her car like vandalized and like laughed at it. I mean, we went on one date. We shouldn't be talking about our exes at all at this point, let alone you telling me how much she screwed you up. That's not a good way to start.
I understand that. It just caught me off guard, and I was really surprised, and I really reacted to it. And I didn't want to be rude and not tell you what I was laughing about, but I could see it was a mistake. I made a mistake.
Did you call her afterwards? Did you talk to her? Did you tell her, sorry, my friend's an a-hole?
No, because she doesn't pick up the phone I call.
That's not an excuse. Your friend's an a-hole, and it sounds like you're an a-hole.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're still hung up on your ex.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're blaming everything in your life on this woman.
Yeah, it's so much so that even your buddies are going out of their way to vandalize her property.
If you dated her, people that date crazy people should take a look in the mirror. There's a reason why you stuck around with a crazy person.
Amen, sister.
Mackenzie, you need to relax, okay? It's not that big of a deal. It's just chocolate sauce on her windshield. You can get that off at a car wash. I mean, come on. It's not like he slashed her tires or did anything that remotely truly damaged the car.
Okay, so it's awesome your friend isn't a total criminal. He still sucks. And the fact that you are supporting him is, like, really gross and weird. I have decent relationships with my exes. We can say hi to each other like normal people because we're grown-ups who go on dates and it didn't work out.
Right.
You sound like you've got major issues.
So I'm assuming, Mackenzie, you think if you go out with Cam again and then stop dating him one day, your car will end up ruined.
We'll be chocolated.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. My friend defended me. He felt like I still had some issues. Obviously, I'm working through it, but I'm working through it by finding someone who's good and decent and not crazy. And that's what I found in you. So if you give me a chance, that will never happen to your car.
We've heard a lot of romantic things in the second date update before, but I've never heard something so romantic as, I promise if you go out with me again, I will not vandalize your car. That was the sweetest thing I've ever heard, Cam.
There's a tear in my eye.
Yeah. Mackenzie, I would like to ask you if you'll go on a second date with Cam. We will pay for the date.
No, I think I'm all set. Thank you.
You sure?
Surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
I'm pretty sure.
Mackenzie, please, if I could just have one more chance.
Sorry, dude. I mean, you seem not totally psychotic, but I don't, take some time and get over her and then try a different girl.
Don't even call me.
Wow.
Wow. All right, Mackenzie. Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Cam,
Yeah.
you really still don't see what you did as wrong.
The only thing I think I did wrong there was I shouldn't have shown her the picture. I should have just laughed or kept it myself. Or you know what? Just kept my phone in my pocket.
Yep, you're right. I don't necessarily have a problem with what you did. It's the fact that you showed it to her.
Yeah, hide your douchebag.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Timothy, please?
Yeah, this is Timothy.
Hey, man, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Like a radio station?
Like the radio station. The only one. How are you?
I'm good. What are all those voices in the background?
Oh, that would be Brooke, Jose, Lydia Cruz, and then me. I'm Jubal.
We're a whole
Yeah.
show.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
Awkward.
I don't listen to the radio that often. I do like podcast stuff.
Nice. Well, we're sort of like a podcast that you can listen to in your car. If you need to. Timothy, we're calling you because you recently went on a date with one of our listeners. And she emailed us to ask us to give you a call and find out why you're not calling her back and don't want to go out with her again.
Wow. Okay. Who was it?
Her name is Sarah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Sarah.
How could you
She has a very sultry voice.
You can't forget Sarah.
Yeah, she does. She has a very nice voice.
Did you enjoy your evening with Sarah?
It was going really well at first, and then we went to her friends for a game night, and then it kind of just got weird.
Did they grill you too hard? Because it sounds like they came in pretty heavy with the questioning.
Yeah, I mean, her friends were a little bit weird, and I wasn't expecting it. I don't know. It was just strange overall.
What were her friends like?
Her friends were, like, Wiccan.
Oh.
Oh, like Wiccan, witches.
Like witches.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's their
So what did they-
religion or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Did they make you dance around a tree? What'd they do? I mean, that was so weird.
They just had a weird vibe to them. Like, they were almost like, like reaching out to me or trying to explain it to me in a weird way. And the game seemed a little bit Wiccan that we were playing.
Did you do any seances?
Ouija board all night.
I mean, honestly, I left after an hour because I was afraid that it was going to like deteriorate into like seances or candles, wax being poured on me or something like that.
I know a couple Wiccans, and they don't do that. They mostly just worship trees and stuff. So you might have been prancing around in some leaves or something later on, if that's weird to you. But what kind of games were they playing?
I don't even know what. It was like a weird game, and the dice were, like just weird dice. like the dice were really strange, and like the board looked like a bunch of astrology and fire and stuff like that. Like it was like kind of all over the place.
So were you able to keep up with the games, or were you not even playing? You were just kind of there watching them.
I didn't know what the game was. Like it's like like I didn't land on Boardwalk at any point. Like.
Did she prepare you for this at all? Like say, hey, we're going over to game night and it's not going to be anything Parker Brothers style.
No. She just was like, hey, I want to come over to my friends for a game night. And I was a little taken aback, but I was like, sure, I'm game. So like,
yeah.
And I don't even want to say like anything rude about Wiccans if I'm on the radio. Like it just wasn't my thing,
We talked to Sarah. Did she share with you that she's a Wiccan, or is she Wicca? Do you know that?
I mean, I kind of assumed she was based on her friends, like I wouldn't imagine she's like Pentecostal or something like that, you know what I mean?
That would be quite a shock.
Yeah, hardcore Catholic, hanging out with them all the time.
She's Jewish.
Well, you know what the best way to find out is, Timothy, is just to ask her.
I guess. I mean,
you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that then. Because Sarah is actually on the other line and heard everything that you just said.
Oh, my God.
I just want to start off by saying my friends really are wonderful people, And I think
I feel a little bit, honestly, Sarah, I feel a little bit ambushed by this. Like, I had no idea you were on the other line. And, listen, I don't mean to, I wasn't trying to be judgmental of your friends. It was strange. For someone who is unfamiliar with Wiccan stuff, it was a strange situation to be dropped into.
But Timothy, I think that's just like if they happen to be all Republicans. I mean, would you have this reaction? They didn't impose anything on you. I think that, like a lot of people, when they hear Wiccans or witchcraft, they think, "Oh my gosh, evil," and they're gonna put a spell on me and sacrifice an animal. Which actually, we're so respectful of the environment and animals. And these friends, I met them, and I did start to get into being a Wiccan for a little bit, and then I realized it wasn't for me, but I felt like we had a really great time together up until that. Didn't you feel the same way?
I did. I felt like we were having a good time, but I was weirded out. So you're still friends with them? Because I understand that you're kind of on the offensive here, but it's not like they were bad people. But it would weird out anyone to jump into that. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, Sarah, you could warn him, maybe. And it's not like they're weird freaks or whatever, but you could say, hey, just to let you know, this is not the normal everyday kind of game night. It's summer solstice.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, but maybe let him know.
There was a full moon that night, and I thought it was a really beautiful symbol of our date, actually. But besides that, it really was just a few friends who happened to be Wiccans that were playing games that aren't the traditional games, and I was so excited for them to meet you. So I really feel like a lot of this is you heard the word Wiccan and just thought the worst or whatever your preconceived notions are, I guess.
Look, there was a little bit of that going into it, but like when you hear the word Wiccan and people are a little bit different or whatever, you don't necessarily know what you're getting into. But they were nice people. They weren't exactly my cup of tea. I didn't feel comfortable. I don't know. I feel like I'm being judged
I
for
want
something
to see you again. I'm not practicing any religion. I'm just really more into meditating and
Okay, Sarah, so you want to go out with Tim again. Tim, would you go out with Sarah again? We will pay for a second date.
I mean...
Oh, come on, Timothy. How can you say, even after that explanation and that soothing voice?
You're right. I mean, yeah, we had a good time up until that point. As long as I don't feel uncomfortable or there's not any situation like that, I did have fun, and I would like to go on another date.
Perfect. Yeah. And we will send you guys out again. Woo-hoo! We'll pay for your food.
That's amazing. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see you again, Timothy.
I'm excited to see you again, too.
Yeah. I'll buy you a couple broomsticks for transportation.
Oh, come on.
It's all good.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Adam, please?
This is Adam. Who's calling?
Adam, my name is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on Moving 92.5. I'm assuming you're probably not familiar with who I am.
Yeah.
How dare you? No, I understand. I know you live in Oregon. It's a morning show in Seattle.
Okay.
And we're calling you because Cindy, your fiance, emailed us and wanted us to ask you why you have been dodging her.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
She told us, how you met and how you had an online romance and everything else, and you asked her to marry you. You finally met, and then you won't return her phone calls.
I honestly, just getting to know Cindy, I never thought she was the kind of girl that, would have a change of heart as soon as she saw me. What? I thought things were great, but for some reason, as soon as we met, it's like I guess I just wasn't good enough for her. So I don't know. She just lost her confidence or something. I don't know.
Let me explain. This is crazy.
Adam, Cindy is actually on the phone with us.
Cindy's on the phone?
Yeah, you haven't been answering her phone calls, so she, wanted us to call for her.
I'm sorry to do it like this, but I needed to talk to you. I can't keep being ignored. Why would you do this?
It was very hurtful, I mean, we spent all this time getting to know each other and talking every day.
And that's what I'm saying. Then, I don't know why you would just cut me out of your life like this.
It was pretty obvious to me. It's like, we've been talking for 6 months, and as soon as you finally see me in person, it was just obvious, like you obviously thought I was ugly and you didn't find me attractive, and you didn't want anything to do with me. And it was just, to me, that was apparent from our first meeting.
That is so ridiculous. That's not the first time I've seen you. I've seen pictures of you. I've absolutely don't find you unattractive. I find you very attractive, actually, Adam.
Adam, I'm gonna give you a little advice that I give a lot of guys in the second date updates. Go to the store, pick yourself up some Old Spice swagger, and get a little confidence. Start showering with that stuff, okay? You need a little more confidence, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just gotta have to understand what goes through my head, and in all of the women I've dated, I've never felt as close to someone as I feel to you. So I guess the excitement of building up to finally see you, I expected a lot, and then I felt like I just kind of got shut down and that I wasn't good enough for you.
What exactly did Cindy say to you, Adam, that made you go like, oh, she doesn't want to get married to me?
She just said, hey, can we slow down and just enjoy the time together, and we'll get to the wedding. We'll talk about the wedding.
You're right. Rude.
I mean, Adam, can you see why she has a point? This is the woman that you want to spend forever, the rest of your life with. What does it matter if it's 6 more months or a year or something, if it makes her feel good about waiting for the wedding?
You have to look at it from my point of view, too. I've told all of my friends and my family that we're engaged, and even though some of them were slightly skeptical, I mean, they've been very supportive. And then to come back, and of course everyone wants to know, how was it? How was she? What did you guys do? And I'm like, yeah, she has no interest in marrying me. Like,
Adam, did you tell everybody that the wedding is off?
I did.
Without even, you didn't even check with Cindy. Like, you didn't have the conversation. You just assumed because she said, let's talk about it later, that the wedding was done, and then reported back to all your family that, nope, don't want to marry the little Adam.
Right when you looked at me.
Another one.
It's obviously not traditional to meet someone the way we've met, and I keep telling them, look, this girl's amazing, and they're all excited.
Now I'm not.
Cindy,
if I can say anything, I just want to tell you that, this time has been so perfect that we've had together, and I really, really, really love you, and I don't think that it's fair to just say no to this right now. I'm glad you're so excited to marry me. I can't wait to marry you too, but I think that we have to do it in the right way, and I think that we have to be mature about it, and I just want to be completely 100% ready to do it, and something just says to me that we need to spend some more time together. Yeah. We need to develop our friendship first.
Adam, I have a feeling like you're a pretty sensitive guy.
No, I mean,
just to...
dating's tough, and as you get older, it's just, you see your friends get married, you see people together out, and you see all that happiness, and, I've been rejected a lot when it comes to relationships, and so I put up a wall, and when I hear that, I just kind of like, oh, I guess I'm not good enough,
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Listen, I would love to send you guys out on a second date.
What? We're not paying for the wedding?
We will pay for that date, and then once your wedding is planned, come back and maybe I will perform it for you.
Oh, nice. Romantic.
I'm into this one. This is going to be a good relationship. Cindy, do you want to go out with Adam again after hearing his reason for not talking to you?
Yes, of course I do. I love you, and I don't want this to be the end of this, and we're going to be just fine. We just have to get through this, okay?
Adam, do you still want to marry Cindy?
Do you take her?
Obviously, I need a second chance to make a first impression again, I guess, and I'd like very much to have a second date with you.
All right, well, with the power vested in me, I declare this a successful second date update. Congratulations, you guys.
Thanks, guys. Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Kate, please?
Yes, she?
Hey, Kate, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm sorry, what?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Okay.
I'm calling you today because you recently went out on a date with someone who listens to our show. His name is Tim, and he emailed us asking if we could get you on the phone to find out why you're not calling him back.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Tim called your show, and now you're calling me on his behalf?
Correct. Because
Can I ask why?
We think Tim is a great guy, and we just don't understand why you don't want to go out with him again after your first date.
You got to be freaking kidding me.
No, not at all,
He's
actually.
a great guy. I'm not really sure. What do you want?
I just want to know why you're not calling him back. That's all. Can you tell us that?
I don't know what you know, but I met him at this club situation. At first, I thought he was a nice guy. He was coming on pretty strong, drinking a lot. Oh, God, it's so disgusting.
Is it really that bad? Listen, Kate, we talked to Tim about your first date. He definitely does not have the same impression that you have. Mm-hmm. He said that you guys are just out dancing, having a good time, and that you even kissed him when you guys were hanging out.
Which I deeply regret. So what really happened, if you want to know, and hopefully this is going to be tuned out to the world here because he's just disgusting. When we were dancing, I don't know how up he was at the time. He seemed to be drinking a lot, and he's a terrible dancer, by the way, but he did something inappropriate.
What did he do?
What did he do?
I don't know if I can even say this on the radio.
If it's too bad, we can always beep it out.
He grabbed my hand and put it on his package, if you will, and he said, "Do you feel what you do to me, girl?"
Are you serious?
That's a move I've never heard of.
I kind of pretended that he didn't say that, and I was like, okay, he's oddly weird. I don't know, what is just happening in the moment. And then he started to repeat it. "Do you feel what you do to me, girl?" And louder on the dance floor. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't even know what to do. People are looking at me, and it's louder than the music.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously that move didn't turn you on.
I'm not even going to answer that.
And just to clarify, the kiss was before this move.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that.
I'm hoping you didn't kiss him after he was doing that to you.
Mixed signals.
So obviously, I was completely disgusted, grossed out, violated, honestly, and you can see why I would never, in my wildest nightmares, even want to talk to him again.
I don't blame you.
Oh, that is unfortunate, Kate, because he's actually on the other line listening.
What?
Yeah. Tim, Casanova, you there?
Gross.
I'm telling you, I was drinking a lot. I promise you, I don't remember that.
That does not excuse your disgusting behavior. I cannot believe you dragged me on the radio for this.
Oh, no.
Disgusting.
Hey, I'm sorry. I really don't remember any of that. Is that really what I said to you?
Do you feel what you do to me, girl? Yeah, over and over. I remember that pretty vividly.
Oh, my God. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. That was totally inappropriate.
Have you been the drunk perv guy at the dance floor before, Tim? Be honest.
No.
I bet you've done that so many times. It was rehearsed the way you said it. So
gross.
I promise. I'm sorry. I've never done that before.
Oh my God. I don't know how you could come back from that. Just even the guy on the dance floor that humps your leg is nasty. The guy who puts his hand on and says that line. Tim.
Well, I know you've been drunk before. Come on.
Hey, Tim, I don't think you're going to get a second date out of this. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to ask in a second. But, Kate, I do have to let you know something else about your date.
Oh, no.
I forgot about
Okay?
that.
What?
So he did that to you on the dance floor. That is very disturbing, right? But also, before that happened and you guys kissed, he told us that he was in the bathroom throwing up and then came to the dance floor, and that's when you guys kissed.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I feel so bad for you.
I thought you weren't going to tell me.
Yeah, I changed my mind when I heard about everything else that you had done. I do have to ask you, Kate, would you like to go out with Tim again? We'll pay for a second date.
No.
All right.
Dude, Kate's never going to talk to a guy at the club again after this.
Tim, I'm sorry. No second date for you, man.
Well, looks like it's back to the club for me again.
Yeah, you might want to stay out of the clubs. Hey, are both you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to know if you can hear what you do to me. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Wendy, please?
This is Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Sorry?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning show on the radio station moving 92.5. How are you?
What is this?
We're a morning radio show, and we had a guy email us and say that he left his phone number on your car one day, and you actually called him back and went out for a date. And we were just calling you to see if we could talk to you about that for a second.
Oh, God.
Was that?
That was just a terrible mistake.
Oh,
really?
That's usually
It was?
not a...
You know, your friends will always be like, you have to live, you know, you have to live in the moment. Like, call a guy who leaves his number on your car. No, never again.
Don't do it. Okay. All right,
Sage
Wendy. Hey,
advice.
you know what? I like you, Wendy. You're direct and to the point. So, what didn't you like about him? What was so weird?
You know what? It was going great. Actually, surprisingly, at the restaurant and everything, we decided to go for this drive, and, you know, we're driving around, and I think I was, like, talking about work, like something completely unrelated.
Uh-huh.
And I was in the middle of something he asked me about, and all of a sudden he just interjects the middle of my sentence with, have you ever hooked up with a girl before?
What?
Really?
He asked you that? That's pretty bold.
I don't know. You know what were you talking about specifically? What do you do for a living? It could have pertained to your job.
Whatever. He was not listening to
No,
one
it has
word.
nothing to do. No, definitely not. I mean, like, it was completely out of nowhere, and I just obviously was shocked, and he's like, yeah, I have a girl roommate, and I mean, why don't you come over? Maybe we'll just hang out and see what happens.
Stop it.
So, Wendy, he invited you back to his place to have a little menage a trois with his roommate.
Well, that's definitely what it felt like. I mean, unless he just thought I was just going to
And he was left out.
if I had given him some indication I was in, which I definitely didn't. I mean, this is like the very first time we've ever met. Like,
That's a little much to go
Yeah.
for that. Had you guys even kissed at this point?
no. Of course, then I'm like, oh my God, I'm in this guy's car. You know, like, number two, dummy mistake. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I'm driving around and, like, I kind of just tried to be cool because, like, it's kind of scary. Like, when you realize, like, someone is, like, a freak, you know? I mean, like,
Now you're stuck in his
I
car.
mean, he could be, like, a serial killer, you know? Like, yeah, first you hook up with my roommate, and then we eat your heart. You know, it's just like,
Hey, Wendy,
I love Wendy.
Wendy, are you sure that that's what he meant by the whole thing? I mean, I know what it sounds like, but are you sure that
I'm
that's
sorry, what do you think that means?
I don't know. It could have been
now
completely
he's
innocent.
So innocent. Jesus.
Well, why don't we ask him? Because Aaron's actually on the other line, Wendy.
Oh,
Aaron, did you ask her to come over and hook up with your roommate
Oh, God.
on your first date?
Aaron.
What I said was, like, maybe we could just come and hang out with my roommate, and then we can see what happens. I was just trying to get to know you. Okay? You were like adventure.
So you were.
with, have you ever hooked up with a girl? And I didn't hallucinate that, right?
I mean, I did ask you that. I just wanted to know if you're interested. I'm just trying to get to know you. That's how you get to know people.
No, you were trying to get to know me, so you interrupted the response I was giving you to a question you asked me about my job to ask me if I ever go ahead and hit it with a gal.
No, like your job is interesting and all, and like we can talk about that. But we're just getting to know each other. So I thought, let's like bring it up a notch. Let's talk about something that has a little more substance to it, and see how, feel each other out a little bit.
Aaron, you don't have any shame at all. Like that's getting to know somebody for you is just diving right in like that.
Aaron.
Yeah, you should just go ahead and just be honest and like just get to the meaty stuff of a conversation.
Has this worked for you in the past? Have you had a lot of threesomes in this manner?
No, I haven't, and it's not even about that. Like, if you're not into girls or threesomes, whatever, I don't care. That's fine. I just wanted to get to know you and see, like, where the boundaries lie and kind of get to know who you are.
Where the boundaries
are? You don't think that's maybe like one of those sensitive topics like religion and politics and, I don't know, threesomes?
I'm okay to talk about religion and politics, too. It's not as exciting as threesomes, but, we can talk about
my gosh.
Okay, well, I actually really would care to know about religion and politics because that's the kind of thing I like to know about a person. Tells me a little bit about a person before I would go ahead and jump in bed with them and their roommate, for instance.
Oh, awesome. And then then let's talk about religion and politics all you want, and then we can talk about other stuff later if you want to.
Oh my gosh, Wendy,
Yeah, actually, I'm definitely not interested in that anymore. So
Cool, but now I know that, and now we can move past that. You know,
Now that we've
going anywhere.
Now that we've got that all out of the way, Wendy, would you like to go on a second date with Aaron? We will pay for it. Now that you guys you know each other, you got all the weird, like, you know, there's always that weird tension of, hey, does she hook up with girls when you go out with a girl? Now that we know, would you want to go out with Aaron again? We will pay for it.
Absolutely not. Thank you so much for that generous offer of potential danger. No, I'm not interested in that.
All right. Well, Aaron, unfortunately, you didn't get a second date, man. Sorry.
I guess I just pushed it too far, huh? Just trying to get to know people. Man.
It's kind of strange, I know, but
you shoved it over a canyon and it like pummeled like 5,000 feet down to the earth.
Try to find a stranger, like there's clubs. I mean, like people put out classifieds.
Yeah.
You don't just ask a stranger.
Hey, Wendy.
Yeah.
We never did get an answer. Have you hooked up with a girl?
You'll never know. Hello.
Hi, is Kelsey there?
This is she.
Hey, Kelsey, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
From where? From the radio?
Yes. Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Okay.
Ring a bell?
Yeah, I've heard of you guys. Yeah.
Nice. How are you today?
I'm okay. I am really wondering why you're calling me.
We recently had a listener email us about you.
Okay.
It's someone that you met at a party. They liked you a lot, and they would love to take you out on a date.
Okay. Who is it?
That person's name is James.
Yeah, I met him at a party. He was really nice.
I love that response.
You basically just verbally patted him on the head right now and told him to run along. Is there something that you didn't like about James? Not even to give him a chance to go out on a date with him?
I mean, I didn't even... That was a really crazy night. It was a really crazy night, and, you know,
Can I tell you what James told us about the evening?
Okay.
He said that he met you at a rooftop party, and you guys are flirty and stuff like that, and then at the end of the night, you came up and asked him for a ride home, which, to a guy, usually says, all right, I'm about to get some.
Yeah.
And usually, we're wrong about that.
Yeah,
but
there we go.
To a guy, that's what it means. So James thought you were definitely interested in him, and then he was kind of shocked when you got out of the car and didn't even ask for his number. He had to beg you to get your number. And now you just keep saying that you're busy and won't, go out with him.
I know. I feel really bad about that. I do. I feel really bad about asking him for a ride. And
my theory on the whole thing was that you didn't have any other option to get home, and you knew that he liked you, so you kind of used him for a ride.
I mean, that's not completely the case.
Completely. But it's 99.9%.
I do feel bad. It was just such a crazy night, and I did like him, but something happened later, and it's just not going to work out.
So
you were interested in going out with him, but now you're not?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on, though. Because the date you guys both described, or the party you both described, wasn't crazy.
Well, the party wasn't so crazy. I maybe was a little crazy that night. This is so embarrassing. I don't think I should be telling you what happened.
Oh, come on.
He wants to know.
You should go against that.
So, earlier in the night, I had hooked up with this other guy.
Whoa.
Like
at the party or at home?
At the party.
What do you mean, like in a bathroom?
Like the party was on the roof, so we went down into the apartment.
Nice. Wow.
And
all right.
This is crazy. I like it.
So you do that, and then you're like, this guy's not going to give me a ride home. I can tell he's kind of a jerk. I'll ask the nice guy.
Right. He left. The guy left.
Oh, no.
But the worst part is that I found out later he's James's best friend.
So wait.
That they're early friends.
The guy that you hooked up with is James is the nice guy's Oh, goodness.
Oh, no.
So when I asked him for the ride home, I didn't know that.
So
You know,
okay.
I mean, I wasn't, you know, he was really nice and whatever, but I had hooked up with this other guy, and then, you know, and so I just thought I would just go home for the night, and then James gave me a ride, and then later when I found out that he and Nick were best friends, I mean, I couldn't call James back and go out with him.
Are you currently talking to the other dude, or was this just a one-night thing?
It was just it was just a crazy moment.
Wow.
You are a player. Holy hell.
I like how you tried to tell me that,
This is embarrassing.
Man, you don't need to be embarrassed. I mean, if you're going to do it, then do it. And at least you have some respect for James's feelings.
Yeah, but poor James, though.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
Have you talked to his buddy since then? Or you're just,
No.
that was just it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting.
But James wants to go out with you.
But what I mean, I can't tell him.
No, you can't.
What
do that.
happened?
You know what, Kelsey? You kind of already did tell him.
Yeah.
Because James is on the phone and heard what you just said.
Shut the up.
Nope.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. James, go ahead and say hi to Kelsey.
Wow. Hi.
Hi. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm just thoroughly disgusted.
Oh,
wow.
James, that's a strong
come
word.
on. That's not fair. That's not, I mean, I didn't know you yet. I didn't even know you guys were friends. I just didn't know that you guys knew each other. I didn't even know, at the beginning of the night that what was going to happen at the end. And
Wait, how did you not know we knew each other? We kind of hung out the entire night.
well, I figured you guys knew each other, but it wasn't until the next day that I found out that you guys were like best friends.
And let's face it, James, you guys didn't hang out the entire night. I'm sure there was a 15-minute span you guys weren't together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were flirting with girls, like a bunch of girls all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I meant by the 15-minute span you weren't together was I was talking about when he was downstairs hooking up with Kelsey. That's what I meant by that.
And how could your buddy not tell you that happened? I mean, isn't that the first thing you do is you go and brag to your friends?
Yeah, he was saying that he hooked up with someone, but I had no idea who it was. I didn't think it was you.
So he actually told you and he was bragging about it? Because I would be if I did that at a party.
Yeah, totally. We were doing high fives and everything. I'm like, yeah, good for you, man. Got some.
Yeah, I got some tail. It's like, you got laid? I almost got laid, dude.
You're like, I'm hoping to. Maybe I'll just end up driving yours home tonight.
Why did you ask me for a ride home? Couldn't you have gotten a cab or something?
Well, because by then I knew that nothing was going to happen between me and Nick, and so I was interested in you, and I wasn't going to take you home and sleep with two people on the same day.
Well, that's boring.
No, I thought I would text you back, but then when I found out that you and Nick were best friends, I assumed you knew. I assumed that you had found out.
Thank God for your morals and decency.
Which she does have. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
James.
sure.
It's only bad because I did it, but if it was you or your friend, you guys are giving high fives to each other, like you said. So
Amen. True.
Yeah, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. He's like, I wish it was.
I would love for you guys to go out on a second date.
Oh, my God.
I really would. Kelsey, would you go out with James again? We will pay for a second date.
I would if he, can get over this. I would.
You would?
Really?
James, would you like to go out with Kelsey?
Hell no. Are you kidding me?
What?
How am I going to live that down with my friend, really?
How are you going to live it down now at all? And no matter what, if I was your buddy after I hooked up with anybody...